How's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's stick mobility class. I am Coach Ray. Thank you for joining me for today. So for today's class, we are going to need access to 2 long sticks and 2 kettlebells and a pad for us to kneel on. The pad is actually going to be mainly for our cool down phase and our stretching. Today we are going to be doing some core work, at least for the strength training part. We're going to be using the kettlebells for some of that core work. It's going to be really challenging, so don't be afraid to go with lighter kettlebells or even dumbbells if you happen to have access to those. Now for the start, we are going to be working on stretching out some of those spiral lines a little bit. So some of the movements will be kind of rotationally or flexion based in a lateral sense, but we are going to start off with a double monkey hang just to kind of get things loosened up from there, and then we'll start moving around and working with the spine. So I'm going to step back here. I'm going to start with 1 foot forward. I'm going to have both the bottoms of both sticks right behind the heel of my front foot here. And I'm going to have both hands roughly about forehead height here. From this position here, I want to sink my back leg down towards the floor, and I want to get an actual full hang in the hands here. Now you can wiggle and adjust your back foot back as you need to. Going to get a stretch in the shoulders, decompress the spine a bit. Going to come up. Excellent. We're going to do that again. This time we're going to add in rotations. So we're going to sink down. Nice and easy. Drive the sticks down into the floor lightly. We're going to rotate towards that front leg. So I'm going to rotate to my right. Then I'm going to rotate to my left towards the back leg. Rotate to the right. As we rotate, you want to keep those hips nice and squared. Rotate to the left. Rotate to the right. And left. Back to center. Come out nice and slow. Ease off. We're just going to switch sides here. I'm going to do that same thing. We're going to slowly sink that back leg down. Get that stretch. We're going to get that back hip here. Make sure you breathe. Come up. Excellent. Now we're going to add in those rotations here. Sink that back leg down. Drive the sticks down into the floor. Rotate to the left and right. Left. Right. Breathe. Left. Right. Back to center. Come up. And ease off. Excellent. Now we're going to work with some rotation, working off extension. So I'm going to turn to the side here. I'm going to have both feet roughly about hip to shoulder width apart. My toes are pointed forward. I'm going to have the bottom of the sticks in line with my midfoot here. I'm going to have my hands at roughly about shoulder to chest height. From this position here, notice the bottoms of the sticks are angled in. I want to keep that angle. I'm going to lightly drive the sticks down about 20%. I'm going to hinge back. Driving those hands out. Should be feeling a nice little stretch in the thoracic spine here. Breathe. Come back up. Excellent. We're going to go into it again. Now we're going to add in rotation. So I'm going to sink my hips back. Good. I want to clear my head. I'm going to rotate both sticks to the right. And my objective is to get that left shoulder going down towards the floor. Come back to center. Now I'm going to rotate to the left. I want to get that right shoulder going down towards the floor. Back to center. Rotate to the right. Back to center. Left. Excellent. Back to center. Right. Back to center. And left. Good. And we're gonna come up, nice and slow, and ease off. Excellent. Now we're gonna work with the hips. Just wanna go through a little bit of a warm up. We're gonna go from a internal, external hip rotation to a single leg RDL here. So we're gonna keep one foot grounded the entire time as we work on this drill. I'm gonna start with my feet together. The bottom of both sticks are gonna be angled, forward. I want the sticks to be completely vertical here. And the sticks are about roughly a foot away from the line of my toes here. Both hands are at roughly about belly button height here. I'm gonna drive both sticks down about 20 to 30% tension. I'm gonna start with my left leg down. So I'm gonna bring my right knee up in the hip flexion. I'm gonna externally rotate here, internally rotate, just tap the stick. And then I'm going to drive my right heel back towards the back wall, reaching my hands out, hold for a few seconds, and I'm gonna come back up, bring those hands in, bring the knee up, externally rotate, internally rotate. Excellent, go into the hinge again, reach those hands out. Make sure you're driving that right heel back. Don't want extension in that lumbar. Come back up, externally rotate, internally rotate, hinge. Good. Lift the right stick. Excellent. Now the left. Back forward. And come down. Ease off. Let's go ahead and switch sides here. I'm going to turn to the side. So feet are together. Same thing. Drive both sticks down. Left leg up. Externally rotate. Then internally rotate. Back to center. Hinge. Drive that left heel back. Should be feeling that left glute fire. Right glute stabilizes here. Back up. Externally rotate. Internally rotate. Excellent. Hinge. Drive that left heel back. Breathe. Up. Let's go one more time. Externally rotate. Internally rotate. Then hinge. Extend. Lift the left stick. Place it down. Another right stick. Place it down. Come back up. And ease off. Excellent. Good. We're going to place one stick down. And what we're going to do here is we're going to work from a standing position, working on rotating side to side. Now, the position we're going to go with is we're going to go with a little bit of an offset stance. So it's going to be kind of a split stance, but it's not going to be really narrow. It's going to go with a wider base here. So I'm going to turn to the side here, actually. And just so you can see an example, my left foot's going to be forward, my right foot's going to be back. I want to keep that right heel up nice and high here. So having the toes of my right foot roughly about right behind the heel of my left foot, I'm going to have the left stick right on the outside of my left foot here in line with the ball of my toes. I'm going to have my left hand up roughly about chin height, and I'm going to rotate towards that front leg. As I do that, I'm actually going to sink down into a squat, and I'm going to drive my right hand out going to 9 o'clock. So I'm not going into a big squat, but I'm going into a nice good bend here. So I'm going to load that left glute as I go into that rotation, and then I'm going to come back up, standing to a tall position. Same thing again. You can always adjust your stance a little bit more too. So squat down, reach to 9, come back up. Let's go again. Squat down, reach your right hand at 9, come back up. Let's go one more time. Squat down, reach to 9, back up, and ease off. We're gonna switch sides here. Same setup, stick is right on the outside of that foot. Tall heel on that back foot here. Squat down, rotate, reach to 3, back up. Let's go again. Squat down, reach to 3, back up. Good. Squat down, reach to 3, back up. Let's go one more time. Squat down, reach to 3, and back up. Excellent, good. We just want to work with some lateral flexion here. First drills is going to be moving laterally. Then we're going to get into actually stretching that QL in that lateral line. I'm going to have the stick on the top of my shoulders here. Feet are going to be at about roughly hip width. Toes are pointed forward. You can have your arms fully stretched out, hands on top of the sticks, or you can actually pull them in a little bit more narrow here. You just want to make sure that you can keep your upper back slightly tight, just so we're not getting a lot of funky movement. So we're going to squeeze those glutes. Stay up nice and tall here. And I'm going to laterally flex to my left. Good. I'm thinking about getting my left rib cage down to my left hip. Then I'm going to come back up to center. I'm going to laterally flex to the right. Same movement. Back up. Laterally flex to the left. Good. Then to the right. Good. Left. Excellent. And right. Back to center. Excellent. Now we're going to get into that movement where you can stretch into, get to stretch into the QL, as well as that lateral line. So the move is going to be really similar in the sense that we are still laterally flexing. The difference is we're actually going to be reaching that other hand across here. So I'm going to have my feet roughly about hip to shoulder width apart. The bottom of the stick is going to be in line with my toes. We're on the outside of my left foot here. Right hand comes up over the top, thumb facing down, very similar to when we do a bow and arrow. And I'm going to have my left hand right in front of my belly button here. First part of the movement is to drive the stick into the floor of my right hand, only about 10 to 20%, nothing too significant. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach this right hand out and as I laterally flex to my left, and then I'm going to reach that left hand to 3 o'clock. Back in, go again, bump the hips out, reach the left hand to 3, get a nice big stretch in that lateral line, come back in, reach out, back in, and ease off. Wonderful. Now we're going to switch sides. We're going to do that same thing. Left hand is up over the top, thumb facing down towards the floor. Drive that stick down, about 10 to 20% tension. Drive that left hand out, reach your right hand to 9. Back in. Let's go again. Reach to 9. Back in. Let's go one more time. Reach to 9. Back in. And ease off. Excellent. That concludes the warm-up. So now let's get into the fun stuff. Let's get into the strength training. All right, everybody. So we're going to get into our strength training phase. So at this point, we'll need access to 2 kettlebells, a bench, and this is going to act as either a squat rack or a door frame. Either one is going to work really, really well for this drill. what we're going to be doing is you're going to be supersetting two particular drills here. The first one is going to be a Bulgarian split squat. However, it is going to be offloaded. And it's going to be offloaded in the hand of the leg that is actually forward. So for example, if our left leg is forward, the kettlebell is going to be in our left hand. This is going to further challenge that medial line. So we're really going to actually hit that adductor alongside of the quad and the obliques. We're also going to get into a core drill where we're actually using a squat rack to pull a stick down and create the isometric tension as we go through kind of like somewhat of a dead bug variation, but not really exactly. Kind of think of like a hollow hold, but a more dynamic hollow hold there. So let's go ahead and get into this first drill here. Now we're going to start off with the Bulgarian, and I'm going to start with my left leg forward first. So as usual, pick up the kettlebell in a very safe manner. Make sure your back is nice and neutral. Pick up, you're good to go. I'm going to start with the kettlebell in my left hand. I have a bench set up behind me. I want to have my right foot on the bench. So I'm going to figure out a good distance that I can stand at here. I want the top of my foot in the bench here. Most of my weight is on that front leg. Even just standing here, you might notice that there's a little bit of a challenge on the adductors and that medial line here. We're going to go 5 reps of a Bulgarian split squat. You want to keep it nice and controlled here. So from a nice, good, strong position, hold that kettlebell. Going to go down, nice and slow. Up. 1 to a full tall position. Up. 2. Up. 3. Up. 4. One more time. Up. 5. Good. Place the kettlebell down. We're going to pick up the other kettlebell. We're going to do that same thing. You're going to notice that one side is harder than the other. That's completely normal here. Go from here. Foot is on the bench. Make sure you got your foot grounded. Down. Up. 1. All that weight's in that front leg here, folks. 2. 3. 4. One more time. 5. Excellent. We're going to place the kettlebell down. Now we're going to grab one of the sticks. And so we're going to use the bench for this as well. So when I have the bench set up nice and close, I'm going to get the stick on the inside of the squat rack here. Now how far up it is, that's going to vary. You can always adjust. Now from here, I'm going to go with a palms up grip, or my palms are going to be facing towards me, not up towards the ceiling. Now from this position here, elbows are bent. I want to keep my head up. I'm going to first create tension by pulling the stick going down. So I'm going to create tension by pulling down. I'm going to go at 40% tension here. I'm going to bring my knees up. That's first position. I'm going to extend out. Back in. 1. Keep the back nice and flat. 2. Extend. Breathe. 3. Extend. 4. One more time. Extend. And 5. Ease off. Excellent. Good. Now we're going to go back to the Bulgarian. Now, realistically, if you have a short stick, this would be good to use a short stick with. For 1, you'll have the grips there, but for 2, easier to maneuver with. So let's get back into the Bulgarian again. Now, instead of 5 reps, we're going to go 8 reps. We're just going to build up the repetitions as we go through the sets here. So my kettlebells are actually set up exactly where I want my feet at. I'm going to pick up the left kettlebell, right foot on the bench here. Let's go 8 repetitions. Nice, good position. Down, up, 1, up, 2, up, 3, up, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, foot off, place it down. Now we're going to get the other one. So a good tip, if you're having trouble balancing, you can always bring that hand out, or you can regress it and have that back foot on the floor here. Set up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more time, 8. Excellent. Gonna place that down. Now we're gonna grab a stick. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go 8 repetitions here, folks. Place that down here. A little easier for the setup. We're gonna try to do that same thing, folks. All right, position your hands, 40%, pull down, knees up, 8 repetitions, extend out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, 8. Excellent. We're going to place it down. We're going to go one more time. Now we're going to up those repetitions to 10. So again, we're kind of elevating up. This is going to be the last set, I promise. So again, if you want more of a challenge, don't be afraid to up the weight, right? You can adjust as you need to. If you have something heavier, you want something a little bit harder, up the kettlebell. These kettlebells are only 16 kilos each for me. So these are not super challenging, but they add a challenge along with the core drill. We're not trying to max you out, just trying to keep you nice and active here. We're gonna set up our feet, grab the kettlebell, right leg's on the bench. Let's go 10 reps. 1, that's good, stable. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more time, 10. Excellent. Good. Question I get sometimes is, where should you look? Forward, down, whatever allows you to keep the best balance. For me, I kind of like to look down a little bit. Pick up the right kettlebell, 10 reps the other side, down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Place it down. 10 reps on this last core drill here. Or 10 reps on the last set of this core drill, I should say. Let's make it count, folks. Let's make it count. Set up the stick, palms in, feet up. Remember to keep your head up and elevated. Pull down 40%. Good. Ribs down. Knees up. Extend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway there. 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Excellent. Now we're gonna sit up. All right, so really awesome combo, a really good way for really learning how to get the rib cage, still getting up those front lines, right? But as we're working on that Bulgarian, how you set the load or how your load is set is going to dictate what part you're actually getting involved, particularly when you're doing a single leg drill. Now we're going to take both sticks here, and we're going to do a standing plank drill. As we do this here, what I do want to focus on is pelvic positioning, rib cage positioning, and then driving the stick down. Now we're going to be doing this for 2 sets of 10, and we're going to do it in 3-second holds. And we're just going to drive down, hold for 3, ease off, right? So it's going to effectively think about a 30-second long set, but we're just going with hard 3-second holds here. Going to be at 70%. I'm going to have my feet roughly about hip width apart. Toes are going to be pointed forward. I'm going to have the bottom of the sticks angled in towards me, in line with my feet here, in line with my midfoot. I'm going to have my hands at roughly about chest height. From this position here, stay up nice and tall, shoulders are down. I'm going to tuck my pelvis here, drop my rib cage down. This is the position we're going to hold the entire time. Now from this position here, we're going to drive down 70%. So drive, 3, 2, 1, ease off. Again, 3, 2, 1, that's 2. Push, 3, 2, 1, 3. Push, 3, 2, 1, that's 4. Push, 3, 2, 1, that's 5. Push, 3, 2, 1, 6. Push, 3, 2, 1, 7. Push, 3, 2, 1, 8. 2 more. Push, 3, 2, 1, 9. Last one. Push, 3, 2, 1, and 10. Ease off. Take a second. Now, why we're doing a kind of like a burst instead of a long hold is because we're keeping that intensity actually relatively high. So we want to keep these keep the activation relatively short. So it's not a lot per repetition, but it adds up to being 30 seconds. So it ends up being like almost like a 30-second total isometric in one set. All right, we're gonna go again. Last one. Let's up it a little bit, yeah? Let's up it to 80% this time. So set up the same. Tuck the pelvis, drop the ribs down, arms are straight, and push. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Push. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Push. 3, 2, 1, 3. Push. 3, 2, 1, that's 4. Push. 3, 2, 1, that's 5. Push. 3, 2, 1, that's 6. Push. 3, 2, 1, 7. 3 more. Push. 3, 2, 1, 8. Push. 3, 2, 1. That's 9. Last one. Push. 3, 2, 1, and that's 10. Ease off. Take a second. Like I mentioned, it's not that hard in the sense of we're not going for a really, really long time, but it does get a little bit harder. So you actually have to kind of slightly increase your rate of perceived exertion as you go on through the set. And again, try to do an isometric hold at 80% for 30 seconds. That is extremely challenging to do, extremely. So this is a better way to hit that submaximal effort without completely burning out your system, right? All right, let's go ahead and get into the stretching now. All right, folks, so now we're gonna get into the stretching. Let's finish up. We're gonna have a pad for us to kneel on because some of the drills we're gonna be doing are actually going to be floor-based. We are gonna work on the hips and the spine and those shoulders. So we're gonna start off first with a hip flexor stretch. We're gonna use both long sticks here, and I'm gonna have my back foot plantar flex, so I'm gonna extend that ankle Hands are gonna be roughly about shoulder height. And I want to have my left leg forward. I'm gonna drive my back foot down, tuck my pelvis, squeeze my glute, and drive the sticks down 20%. Nice, good tall position here. Excellent. Hold. Your long duration holds on these stretches here, folks. Breathe. 3, 2, 1, and ease off. Wiggle your foot, your left foot or your front foot forward a little bit more. Now we're gonna floss in and out of this stretch. We're gonna do 10 reps. We're just gonna go forward, hold for about 1 to 2 seconds, and then ease off. We're gonna do that 10 times here, and we'll switch sides. So drive the sticks down, drive that back foot down, tuck the pelvis, squeeze your glute. We're gonna shift forward, open those hips, 1, 2, back up. Keep that tension, shift forward, 1, 2, it's 2. 1, 2, it's 3. 1, 2, it's 4. 1, 2, it's 5. 1, 2, it's 6. 1, 2, 7. 1, 2, it's 8. 1, 2, it's 9. Last one. 1, 2, 10. Ease off. Now we're gonna switch sides. Gonna go to that same progression. Drive the sticks down, drive that back foot down, tuck the pelvis and squeeze the glute. Remember, people, it's really important to breathe here. Nice deep breaths. Excellent, ease off. Wiggle that front foot forward more. Same thing, drive that back foot down, tuck the pelvis, squeeze your left glute, shift forward, 1, 2, out, shift forward, 1, 2, it's 2, shift forward, 1, 2, it's 3, shift forward, 1, 2, it's 4, shift forward, 1, 2, it's 5, shift forward, 1, 2, it's 6, shift forward, 1, 2, 7, 1, 2, 8, shift forward again, 1, 2, it's 9, last one, shift forward, 1, 2, excellent, good. Now, let's get into the adductor. So I'm gonna have my right foot out to the side, and I want my foot to be directly in line with my hips. I don't want that foot to be in forward or behind, and I want my foot to be flat here. Outside of my foot, down. I don't want to end up being on the medial part of my foot. I'm gonna have the sticks on my shoulders, angled forward quite a bit here. And what I'm gonna do from this position here is have my hands on the top of the sticks, and I'm gonna sink my hips back, and I'm gonna reach down towards the bottom of the sticks. As I do that, I'm gonna get a stretch in the adductor and even that hamstring a little bit, right? Especially if we're super tight on those hamstrings. So from this position here, hands are on top of the sticks. Gonna slide hands down, reach towards the bottom, sinking my hips back. Breathe. Come up, bring my hips up, not to a tall position, but just shift them forward and then shift back again. Breathe, shift forward. Let's go one more time here, folks. Come up. Walk your hands up Excellent, wiggle that foot in. Now we're gonna switch sides. So now left foot goes out. Again, and try to achieve that same position here. Foot forward. Same thing. Hands are on top of the sticks. Shift those hips back. Breathe. Hips forward. Excellent. Hips back. Breathe. Hips forward. And hips back. Excellent. Hips forward. Walk yourself up. Tall position. And wiggle that foot in. Now we're going to go with a tall kneeling double hang. Now for this one, we do want to make sure that we have good balance. The bottom of the sticks are actually going to be kind of angled forward a little bit, allowing us, and I'm going to turn to the side for this, to kind of lean forward into it as we actually hang. So again, we'll get those anterior tissues to really open up here, but as we're actually hanging, it's going to get our shoulders and our thoracic spine too. So we're going to get everything to kind of stretch here. I'm going to have the tops of my feet into the floor here. I'm going to squeeze my glutes, and notice where the sticks are actually angled. They're angled about roughly a foot in front of the line of my hips here. I'm going to have my hands up. Now from this position here, drop the feet down, get a nice good grip on a stick, and shift forward, squeeze those glutes. Breathe. Probably going to feel a stretch in the core tissues, the lower abdomen. Breathe. Excellent. Come out nice and slow. Ease off. We're going to do that again. So again, we're getting the spine, we're getting the shoulders, we're getting the hips a little bit, and the core. We just worked that core, so it's good to kind of get it to stretch out a little bit. Let's go into it again. Hands are up nice and tall. Squeeze the glutes. Shift forward. Breathe. Now bring your chin up. Down. Slowly come out. Excellent. Let's get one last good rep here. So notice if we've done this kind of drill before where the sticks are angled out even more, getting a lot more extension. This is a much more mild or easier version to work in and out of. Hands are up, squeeze the glutes, shift forward, get that hang. Now we can rotate side to side. So rotate the sticks. Excellent. And ease off. Wonderful. Now, just want to finish off with the bow and arrow. You're going to place one stick down. And now, we're going to go with a hip width stance. Toes are pointed forward here. Stick is out to my left side. I have the bottom of the stick about roughly 6 inches from the outside of my midfoot here. Left hand is roughly about rib cage or belly button height, somewhere in that vicinity. I'm going to take my right hand up over the top, thumb face down towards the floor, and I'm going to extend my hands out and drive my hips away. It's one, back in, then go again. 2, extend. 3, extend. 4, extend. 5, excellent. Let's go ahead and switch sides here. Same thing. Left hand up over the top, thumb facing down towards the floor. Just drive the hips away, extend out. 1, extend, 2, extend, 3, extend, 4, extend, and 5. Ease off and relax. And that, my friends, concludes today's stick mobility class. Thank you for joining me again today, everybody. Hope everybody had a good class and had some fun with the drills we did today. I will be sure to catch you on the next one. Have a good day and stay safe.